Very good morning, children. I'm Deepa, your physical science teacher from Dr. Besant School. How are you all, children? I hope you are watching the videos regularly and understanding all the concepts. If you have any doubt, you can call and ask me. Okay, children? And I hope you all are ready with your books, your textbook, notebook, pens, everything. You keep ready and start watching the video. Okay, children? And in previous session, what we learned? We learned about the properties of a solution and concentration of a solution. We learned what is meant by solubility. We learned saturated solution, unsaturated solution, what is meant by dilute, concentrated, and also we learned factors affecting the rate of dissolving and how to find the concentration of solution mainly in two ways, mass by mass percentage and volume by mass percentage of the solution. This is all we learned in our previous session and we have done the problem, and I hope you all have done example 2 problem, right? Okay, good. Now, in today's concept, today's session, what we are going to learn is suspensions and colloidal solutions, another type of solutions. Children, if you remember, types of mixtures we learned, isn't it? So, how many types of mixture we learned? Two types. What are they? Homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Isn't what is homogeneous mixture? Which will get complete, the solute will get completely dissolved in the solvent, isn't it, which we cannot separate the solute from the solution in easy methods, that is homogeneous mixture, isn't it? Now what is heterogeneous mixture? In which the solute will not get dissolved, it will settle at the bottom, that is heterogeneous mixture. Now in this heterogeneous mixture only there are two types, that is suspensions and colloidal solutions. This both comes under heterogeneous. What is this suspension? What is the colloid? What is meant by suspension? What is meant by colloidal solution? That we are going to learn in the form of a small activity. Okay, for this activity, see, see this, children, I'm taking some chalk powder. What is this? This is chalk powder, and I'm taking some milk, some milk and some chalk powder. We will, some chalk powder I will take in a glass. Okay. See. 1 spoon of chalk powder I took in a glass, and this milk I am pouring in another glass. Okay, children, I took milk and chalk powder. Okay, now what we will do, we will add some amount of water for both. I'm adding some amount of water for, first for chalk powder I am adding, see. Okay, some amount of water. And same way, let me add some amount of water for this milk also. Some amount of water for milk as well as for chalk powder, for both. Now we will stir both of them. First I will stir this chalk powder. I'm stirring this chalk powder in water. Okay. Let me add some more water, clearly visible for you. Fine. Okay. Now I am stirring it. Now guess, will this chalk powder get dissolved in water or no? You can see here. Will the chalk powder get dissolved in water or it will remain undissolved? Will they come and settle at the bottom? Let us see. I'm stirring, stirring, stirring. How much you stir? What you will observe? You know, at the bottom what is there? Can you see? It seems like milk, isn't it? But let us wait for some time. Let us wait for some time and see. Can you see anything at the bottom, children? Here bottom you observe. What you can see at the bottom? What is that? Chalk powder. What happened to the chalk powder? See, it is remaining undissolved. When you leave it undisturbed, all the chalk powder is coming and settling at the bottom. It is settling at the bottom. Okay, children? Now, can we call it as homogeneous mixture when the solute is not getting dissolved completely? Can we call it as homogeneous mixture? No, it is heterogeneous mixture. Okay, in which the solute particles are visible to our naked eye. Here solute particles are visible to us. Solute particles size is in such a way, even after mixed in the solvent, solute particles are visible to our naked eyes. Now you see at the bottom, children, can you see that chalk powder? Yes. Even if you can add more water to see it more clearly if you want. Now observe that solute particles, how they are coming at the bottom. See? Can you see? See, children. Observe at the bottom. See at the bottom what you can see? Right. See, the solute particles are coming down. They are settling down. So what is this mixture? Homogeneous mixture. And this type of homogeneous mixture, which the solute particles are settling down without getting dissolved, not homogeneous, heterogeneous. It is a heterogeneous mixture. Such heterogeneous mixture in which the solute particles are settling down without getting dissolved in it. It is called as suspension. This type of solution is called, what is it called? This is what this suspension. Okay, children. And in this suspension, solute particles are big enough which can be seen, with naked eyes. Understood, children? Solute particles are big enough which can be seen with our naked eyes. This is what suspension. Am I clear, children? See in your textbook. Not only that, if we pass a beam of light into it by using torchlight or anything and pass a beam of light into it, okay, if we pass a beam of light into it, that light is also visible. The path of the light will visible because the solute particles will scatter that beam of light. For homogeneous solution, the path is not visible, but for heterogeneous it is visible. See in your book. 43 page, after the table, below the table, we find the particles of chalk did not dissolve but remain suspended throughout the volume of the water. Remain suspended means moving throughout the water. So this is a heterogeneous mixture because the solute particles did not dissolve and the particles are visible to naked eye. Okay, children, small disturbance in the middle. I am sorry for that. Let us continue now. See here. So we are discussing about suspensions, right? So the particles of chalk did not dissolve but remain suspended throughout the volume of the water. So this is a heterogeneous mixture because the solute particles did not dissolve and the particles are visible to naked eye. Such heterogeneous mixtures are called Suspensions. Suspensions are the heterogeneous mixtures of a solid and a liquid. The suspensions are heterogeneous mixture. It belongs to heterogeneous mixture of solid and liquid. Of a solid and a liquid. Chalk powder is a solid and water is a liquid. Okay, in which the solids do not dissolve like mixture of soil and water. Or we have seen in the previous video how the mixture of soil and water do not dissolve. Like that, that is also a suspension. It is also a suspension. Okay, children, I hope I am clear. You can see here. Now see this chalk powder more clearly. You can see this. Yes, the chalk powder completely came at the bottom. Okay, this is about suspension. And if we scatter a beam of light, we will pass a beam of light into that. It will scatter the light and the path of light also visible to us. Next, what we have taken? Milk. Milk and water. See milk and water. Can you see? So here what is happening? See here. I will add some more water for the milk. Now see this milk and water. Can you see, children? Now can you see the milk particles inside the water? No, we can't see. So what type of solution we will think? What type of mixture we will think this one? We think it is a homogeneous mixture, isn't it? But no, it seems to be homogeneous. Milk and water seems to be homogeneous, but they are not homogeneous. It is also a heterogeneous mixture. But the milk particle size is very small, which is not visible to our eyes. That's why we feel it as homogeneous, but it is a heterogeneous mixture. Understood? This type of solution, which solute particle size is very small, which seems to be dissolved, but they will not get dissolved. Such a mixture, such a solution is called colloid. Such a solution is called, this is what colloid means. Solute particle size is small. Solute particles size is so small. So small means not that much small as homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture solute particle size is very small. So they are not as small as homogeneous and not as big as suspension. They will be in between. The size of this colloid particles, solute particle size is in between homogeneous and suspension. That's why they seem to be homogeneous, but actually it is heterogeneous. The best example I will tell you, if you take buttermilk, we will mix water in the buttermilk. So if you leave it for some time, you can see water will be on the surface. On the surface you will get more water, isn't it? So they are not getting completely mixed with each other. So it is heterogeneous. But see, it seems to be homogeneous. It will not get separated like suspension. This is suspension. Completely chalk powder particles came down. But here they are not settling down. They will be moving in the water. Milk particles will be moving in the water. They will not settle down because of their small size. Clear, children? So they seems to be homogeneous, but they are not homogeneous. They are heterogeneous only. Such a solution is called colloid. So here chalk powder is suspension. Chalk powder in water is suspension, and milk and water is colloid. I hope I am clear, children. You understood? Now see in your book. So particles of milk in the second test tube are uniformly spread throughout the mixture due to smaller size of milk particles. smaller size of milk particles, it appear to be homogeneous, but it is a heterogeneous mixture. These particles easily scatter a beam of visible light. Such mixtures are called colloids. They are called colloids or colloidal solutions. These mixtures possess the characteristics in between a solution and a suspension. I told you this particles characters will be in between solution, homogeneous mixture, and a suspension. They are also called as colloidal dispersions. Colloidal dispersions may appear homogeneous but are actually heterogeneous. So a large number of substances such as milk, butter, cheese, cream, gel, boot polish, and clouds in the sky, etc. are some of the examples of colloids. Colloidal solutions are heterogeneous in nature and always consists of at least two phases. So this colloid will have two phases. What are the two phases? Same like solution. Solution has two phases. What is it? Solute and solvent. The smaller amount what you have taken is solute and the larger amount what we have taken is solvent, isn't it? In the same way, for the colloid also two phases are there. What are they? One is disperse phase, and another one is dispersion medium. Another one is dispersion medium. These are the two phases in colloid. What is the disperse phase and dispersion medium? Same like solute and solvent. This disperse phase is nothing but like solute in the solution, means which is taken in smaller quantity and which will get dispersed in the solution, which will get spread in the solution, that is disperse phase, and which is making to disperse in it, that is what dispersion medium. Same like solvent. Dispersion medium is nothing but like solvent. Understood, children? See, the disperse phase and dispersion medium. Disperse phase is the substance that present in small proportion and consists of particles of colloidal size. The particle size will be in between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometers. Particle size is 1 nm to 100 nm. Nm means nanometer. Particle size will be in between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Very, very small. Dispersion medium is the medium in which colloidal particles are dispersed, spreading. These two phases can be in form of solid, liquid or gas. So different types of colloidal solutions are possible depending upon the physical state of the two phases. Understood, children? So what you mainly here you should understood is homogeneous solutions will not scatter the beam of light, whereas heterogeneous mixture, heterogeneous solutions like suspension and colloid will scatter the beam of light. Children, understood? And the scattering of beam of light is called Tyndall effect. Scattering of beam of light is called Tyndall effect. Very important, this one. Scattering of beam of light is called Tyndall effect. What is meant by Tyndall effect, children? Very important. The scattering of beam of light. What I told scattering means, say atoms are molecules which are exposed to light energy and emit some part of light energy in different directions. Which are exposed, which are absorbing the light, will emit the light. Emit means releases the light in different directions. This is called scattering of light. And heterogeneous solutions will scatter the beam of light. And the scattering of beam of light is called Tyndall effect. Very important. What is meant by Tyndall effect? Scattering of beam of light is called Tyndall effect. Best example of this Tyndall effect is you can see where there are in forests or in some places big trees will be there, isn't it? And from the trees in between that branches where gaps are there, the sun rays will be focusing straightly. We can observe or not. Even in our kitchen room also, if a small gap is there, the rays will be falling, isn't it? That is what Tyndall effect. You can see here in the figure. Please see here, children. Can you see many trees? In between the trees where gaps are there, the sun rays, see how they are coming. Isn't it? Can you see it? This is called Tyndall effect. Am I clear, children? Understood? So when sunlight passes through the canopy of a dense forest, mist contains tiny droplets of water which act as particles of collide dispersed in air. Okay, and the smoke coming out from the kitchen, from the stove is exposed to sunlight. Then also you can see that scattering of light. This is called Tyndall effect. Clear, children? Now here a table is given in your book. Please see, children. A table is given here. Examples of dispersion medium and dispersed phase. Yes or no? Let us see the table. Dispersion medium is gas. Dispersed phase is liquid. What is meant by dispersion medium? I told. Which is nothing but solvent. Dispersed phase is solute. In collide, we will use the words as dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase is gas. Dispersion medium is gas and dispersed phase is liquid. Means liquid is getting dissolved in gas. Then the name of that type of collide is aerosol. What we call it as aerosol. And the examples for that aerosol is fog, clouds and mist. Next is dispersion medium gas and dispersed phase is solid. Combination of gas and solid. Then also we call it as aerosol. Combination of gas and liquid is called aerosol. Combination of gas and solid is also called aerosol. Examples: smoke, automobile, exhaust. Smoke and automobile exhaust examples. Next, dispersion medium is liquid and dispersed phase is gas. Collide type is foam. Here combination of liquid and gas. Such a collide type name is foam. Example: shaving cream. Next, dispersion medium is liquid and dispersed phase is liquid. Both are liquids. Then that collide type is called emulsion. What we call emulsion. Combination of two liquids like milk and water. Okay, this is a collide. We call such a collide is emulsion. So example is milk and face cream. Next, dispersion medium is liquid and dispersed phase is solid. Combination of liquid and solid. Then the collide type is sol. We call it as sol. Solution. Example: mud and milk of magnesia. Next, dispersion medium is solid and dispersed phase is gas. Then that collide type is called foam. Examples: foam, rubber, sponge, pumice, stone. Dispersion medium is solid and dispersed phase is liquid. Then the collide type is gel. Combination of solid and liquid we call it as gel. Example: jelly, cheese and butter. Next, dispersion medium is solid and dispersed phase is solid. Both are solids. Then it is solid, sol. Examples: colored gemstone, milky glass. These are the examples. Clear, children? These are all collides. Now my question is ice cream a collide or not? You all like ice cream? You all will eat, isn't it? So is ice cream a collide or not? Ice cream is a combination of, you all know, it is made by churning a mixture of milk, sugar and flavors. As all are mixed, it is a mixture. Mixture is slowly chilled to form ice cream. Chilled means cooled. The churning process disperses air bubbles into the mixture by foaming and break up the large ice crystals into tiny particles. The result is a complex substance which contains solid. Isn't it? What is that solid? Milk fats and milk proteins. And it consists of liquid. What is that? Water and gases. That is air bubbles. Now tell, is it a collide or not? Yes, ice cream is a colloid. And now here properties of suspensions and colloids given tabular form, very important. What all I explained now, that is there in the tabular form here. Okay children, once read that, again I will discuss about this table in our next session. Okay children, clear with this today's session? We learnt about suspension and colloid. Clear? Thank you.